Hello everyone, welcome back to SmallCapGuy. In my last video, I told you that most people's mindset is generally manipulated by the rich, so the mass population would stay poor for their whole lives. I believe around 80% of you watching this video belong to the mass population. I think probably more than 80% because rich people don't spend time on YouTube. So this and the next videos are specifically for you because I'm going to show you 6 actionable steps on how to behave like a rich person. The first step is to quit YouTube now. Just kidding, I still need your view to grow my YouTube channel. Remember to like this video so YouTube will publish this video to more people. Now, you might have heard of some of the points that I'm going to share later, but the last point would make a difference. You will understand why you didn't improve much after watching so many motivational videos and how to really proceed from here. The first step is to force yourself to save first. You see, for the majority of the working adults, when they first receive their salary, what would they do? They become the god of wealth. In Mandarin, we call it 财神爷. They will start to give their money out to pay off the loans to the utilities provider, to the restaurant, to their spouse and children, basically giving the money to everyone else except themselves. Then, at the end of the month, they blame that there was no savings left because the monthly expenses are very huge. How does the rich do? They take a portion of the income out first before paying for the bills. I'm going to share with you how I have been doing to force saving a huge sum of my income. Minimally, you need 3 bank accounts: emergency account, financial freedom account, and expenses account. You may have known it. The purpose of an emergency account is to cover your rainy days. Save an amount that is worth a few months of your living expenses, maximum 1 year but not more than that. The emergency fund should be kept in liquid and should not be used for any investment purposes. The financial freedom account is where you temporarily park your money and it is anytime ready to be deployed to your brokerage accounts for investment purposes. The expenses account would only contain the money that is just enough to cover your monthly living expenses. So when your income arrives, let's say for every month, straight away transfer out a portion of it. I would say for a start, try at least 20%. You may be thinking, Daniel, my salary is just enough to cover all my expenses. I don't have extra money for savings. I can share with you some solutions on that later. Once you have taken out that 20% or whatever amount, fill in the emergency account first. When the emergency account is enough, then load up your financial freedom account. The funds in these 2 accounts should be hard to retrieve. Meaning to say, you would not want to link any debit or credit cards to these accounts. You would only spend whatever that is in the expenses account. Of course, I'm not telling you to live exactly like a poor man with no life. It is okay for you to include a small amount of funds for entertainment purposes. Or if you want to track your finances in a more detailed way, you can further subdivide the accounts into the educational fund, long-term savings, the entertainment account, and so on. Coming back to the question just now, Daniel, I know what you say is true. I know the importance of it, but I just don't have the motivation to start doing it. Are you also facing this problem? You know what is the solution, but you just don't feel like doing it. If you are, let's imagine this situation. Your parents have been kidnapped and you have been asked to pay a $500,000 ransom in exchange for releasing your parents within 3 days. If not, they are going to be killed. How would you relate to it? You are definitely not going to say that you don't have the motivation to raise the money because you don't need motivation. What you need is intention. When you have the intention to save your parents, you will do whatever it takes to raise enough money. Now, I know this example is a little bit extreme, but you get what I mean. I want you to right now put yourself into this same example. You are going to kidnap yourself when you retire in the future. It could be 20 or 30 years later. You will be asking for a ransom to release yourself every day. So it is up to you on whether you want to do something about it today. If you think this video has been helpful to you, remember to smash the like button so YouTube algorithm would show this video to more people. The second actionable step on how to behave like a rich person is to treat your money as time. Although people always say that time is money, I do not agree with it, because time is more valuable than money. You can always make more money, but you don't get to make more time. Whenever you are buying something, there is a price tag to whatever you want to buy. Instead of looking at the price itself, think about how much time is required for you to make that money. For example, a high-end 13-inch MacBook Pro would cost 11,698 ringgit. If you are making 4,000 ringgit per month, you will need to work for 3 months non-stop without any expenses just to grab this 13-inch MacBook Pro. You are not able to rewind the time spent. Would you still want to go for it? Of course, price is only one of the many factors you should consider. There are other situations where you need to also look at the quality of the products. Sometimes buying a more expensive item would serve you better in the longer term rather than buying the cheaper alternatives. Now, it may seem contradicting to what I just mentioned. Should I buy a more expensive one, or I want to go for a cheap one? You can ask yourself this question on whether you should upgrade to a better product. Does my current item serve what I need? If you are driving a car now and thinking whether you should buy a new car, just think about what you need from driving a car. It is to bring you from A to B. Does your current car serve this purpose? If yes, then your desire of buying a new car is just a want. Remember, you are actually using your life to buy every item. Think carefully before committing to them. The third actionable step on how to behave like a rich person is to give your money. This was surprising to me when I first learned about this, because in my upbringing, I have been always told to take care of myself first. My mom told me that I need to make more money to save it so I would be having a better life when I retire. I think it is normal that for most people, they always think they will only give when they have enough money. But let me ask you this question. Would you ever feel that you have got enough money? Probably not. Humans are created with a feature to achieve goals. That is our purpose to live. When our initial goal is achieved, we would have a new goal that is set higher than the initial goal. So if your initial goal is to buy a new phone, after achieving this goal, your next goal will be buying a new car or a new house. This serves as a never-ending cycle because the monetary requirement becomes higher and higher. It makes you feel that you are earning so slow, and hence the money is never enough. Based on this logic, a typical person would never give his money because he can't even fulfill his own requirements. I used to behave like this, where I kept most of the money to myself and I didn't grow. Only when I started learning to give a blessing to others, I become more resourceful and I've been receiving even more than what I give. Why does that happen? The reason is because when I give away my money, I would find creative ways or methods to make it back that money. I want to tell you that making money would become easier when you make more money. Your first $10,000 would be the hardest, and the subsequent $10,000 would be easy. Same goes for $1 million. When you become more resourceful to earn more money, you become richer, and that's exactly what the rich does. Warren Buffett has been giving away $37 billion and he is now worth $108 billion. Bill Gates gave more than 36 billions and he is currently worth $131 billion. I've covered 3 actionable steps that the rich are doing, and this video will be too long if I continue on with the others. So I will cover the rest of the 3 actionable steps in the next video. To sum up, here are 3 actionable steps on how you can behave and be on track to be rich. Force yourself to save first. Treat your money as time and give your money. This YouTube channel mainly shares practical tips about investing and personal finance from my investing and coaching experience. If you don't want to miss any of the future videos, turn on the notification for this channel. Stay tuned for part 2 of this video series, and I look forward to see you next time.